Hi everybody, I thought today's little video would be about rotator cuff injuries. Now these exercises that I'm going to go through now are assuming that you've already had a diagnosis of rotator cuff and you are perhaps rehabilitating from it, or you would like to prevent rotator cuff injuries in the future, either because of the kind of sport that you do, or maybe you've had a problem with rotator cuff in the past. So I think first and foremost, we'll just go through a tiny bit of anatomy, if that's okay. I would show you Skelly, but his shoulder's knackered at the minute and I can't move his hand and his arm without his shoulder falling off, so that's not good, is it? So I'll not show you on Skelly. Anyway, I'll show you on me. So rotator cuff does exactly what it says on the tin. It rotates the cuff of the shoulder. We've got a few joints in the shoulder, but mainly what we're thinking about here is the glenohumeral joint. So it's basically where the humerus, this bone here, kind of attaches or sits in the glenoid fossa, which is kind of like a ball and socket. And some of the muscles that attach from there or around here into that socket are the rotator cuff, and there's 4 of them, and they should kind of work fairly synergistically in order to, you've guessed it, to rotate the shoulder. Now, what is shoulder rotation? So generally, internal rotation is this. So kind of, for ladies, popping your bra on, for guys, scratching your back. And then we've got external rotation, which is kind of stuff like this. So if we're going to like put our hair up or wash our hair in the shower, obviously I have to do the motions as well, so you know how you wash your hair. This is before caffeine, by the way. It's on the boil. Anyhow, so this is the motion. Yeah, this is internal rotation. This is external rotation, and these are movements that can become a bit sticky over time and can be prone to injury. So it's good if we can do some really specific exercises to kind of make sure that they are activated and that they're nice and strong and healthy. So some of the simplest things to do for a rotator cuff is using a TheraBand. Massive fan of resistance bands. Is that going to work? Yeah. In clinic. So this is just a door handle and a TheraBand. Yeah, that's it. You don't need any other bits of fancy kit. I mean, you can get fancy kit if you want, but you don't need it. So I'm going to show you two simple exercises. First one is for internal rotation. So what we're doing is we're taking the band, doesn't matter what resistance it is, because you can make it really, really tight or you can make it really quite slack. So it's up to you as to how far you go in terms of near your door handle. So I've just wrapped the TheraBand around the door handle. I'm taking a hold of the TheraBand with my palm facing up. And I almost want you to imagine that your elbow is super glued into your side, yeah? So that elbow isn't moving at all. You've got a nice stance on the floor. We've got squeaky floorboards in here. Soft knees, so you're putting no pressure through the back at all. Tilt the pelvis a little bit. I'm a bit of a stickler for getting everything right. So tilt the pelvis, pelvic floor switched on, core muscles switched on, so that you've got lots of support, and that really the only thing that we're trying to encourage to move through this exercise is the rotator cuff. So we're grabbing a hold, we're super gluing our elbow, the inside of our elbow, into our side, and we are just drawn in really, really slowly. Now my elbow isn't coming out of my side at all, so that would be wrong, yeah, and this is right. So we're just drawing it in and then nice and slowly back. So we're not twanging, we're not flinging back, and we're not flinging back, that's all wrong. So nice and tall and straight, super glued into the side, drawn in towards us, and then nice and slowly back. So we shouldn't see any gap between my arm and my body, really. So nice and slowly in, nice and slowly out. Now, what I would usually say to people is turn around and do it this way, but then you'll just get a vision of my arse, which probably isn't a good sight. So I'm going to pretend I've turned around and I'm using this hand now. But of course, when you turn around and do it yourself, you're going to be using the same hand. So I'm going to show you the exercise that we will be doing for external rotation. So it's exactly the same grip. We've got the same stance. We're tilting the pelvis, got all of the pelvic floor switched on. The shoulder blades are down and back. The elbow is super glued into the side, and this time we are drawing the arm out and back and out and back. Nice and slow and steady. Yeah, this is not an exercise to be rushed. So nice and slow. Now, how many you do of these has a lot to do with who you are, what your makeup is, how your body is, what you need to do, what kind of sports you do. So, but whoever you are, I would always say do things fairly gradually, especially if this is a new exercise. So maybe just 5 each side, really slowly. Always start with the side that's feeling the strongest. It kind of lets the brain have a good idea as to what's going on and what you want it to do. So when you do the other side that's feeling a little bit sore, it will automatically make the sore side more like the non-sore side. Reciprocal inhibition, bilateral training, it's kind of a pathway of training that physios have used for a long time, and it can be adapted to everybody. So just make sure you do these exercises fairly mindfully. You know, we're not having chats with people at the gym when we're doing this, we're not listening to music, we're really focusing to think, right, how does this feel? How is this feeling? And then your brain is likely to make more positive changes within your body if you're moving it mindfully. There's loads more I could tell you about rotator cuff, but these are the best ones to start with. So have a go, see how you get on. I'm always happy to have some feedback, and if there's anything else that you want me in particular to go through, then please let me know. See you soon, bye.